The Story of Treasure Island. Jim Hawkins was a young man who worked as an apprentice in a pawn shop in the Caribbean. One day, Mr. Johansen the pawnbroker came into the store carrying a big, heavy, rusted trunk. "What's that? It looks like an old box of junk," said Jim.
"Oh, definitely. Junk? Well, that's for you to figure out," said Mr. Johansen, as he put the chest on a bench. "This is from that old widow, Mrs. Flynn. She decided to sell the contents of this chest, and I told her that you would have an estimate for its value by the end of the week."
Jim let out a sigh after Mr. Johansen left. He already had enough work to do. Jim had been hard at work, sorting, cataloging, and appraising the contents of the chest, when he came across something that didn't seem to belong with all the assorted trinkets inside. It was a somewhat ragged piece of parchment, yellowed with age, and rolled up tightly. As he unfurled it, Jim saw a drawing of a chain of nearby islands, and on one of those islands there was drawn a large red X. Though Jim had never seen anything like it before, he knew what it was. It was a treasure map. Jim knew that this was his opportunity to have a real adventure. Mr. Flynn must have been none other than Captain Flint, the infamous pirate and fearsome marauder of the seas. Jim brought the map to Mr. Johansen and explained his theory. Mr. Johansen said nothing, but instead closed his shop, rolled up the map, and taking hold of Jim by the arm, led him down to the harbor. Once there, Mr. Johansen looked up and down the docks, though Jim hadn't the faintest clue what he was looking for. Finally, they stopped in front of a tall ship with many sails.
"This one looks sturdy, and the captain looks like he has seen his fair share of sailing," Mr. Johansen said. Indeed, the captain looked tough and experienced. "We'd like you to take us out to these islands," Mr. Johansen told the captain, pointing to the map.
The captain's eyes widened with recognition when he saw the map, but he said nothing about it. Instead he asked,
"What business do you have out on those islands? No one goes there anymore."
"That's private. Just know that you'll be rewarded handsomely once our business is done," Mr. Johansen replied.
The captain smiled a grim smile.
"Oh, I have no doubt that I'll be paid. All aboard! We set sail immediately."
And off they went to sea. They had been sailing long into the night when Jim and Mr. Johansen decided it was time to head to their cabin below deck and get some sleep. When they woke up at dawn, they discovered their map was gone, and the door to their cabin had been barricaded from the outside.
"We've got to get out of here," Jim cried. "It looks like there's only one way out of this room. Here, Mr. Johansen, help me loosen this door."
Together, the two of them managed to push the door open and scrambled to get back up on deck.
"What are you doing out of your room?"
the captain sneered, clutching the map tightly in his hand.
"Well, no matter. It just saves me the trouble of having to fetch you."
"Why did you lock us up? What do you want from us?"
Jim demanded.
"My name is Long John Silver," the captain replied. "I sailed with Captain Flint, and now I'm the meanest pirate in all the 7 seas. This map shows where Flint's treasure is buried, and neither you nor anyone else is going to get in my way."
"Captain, land ho!"
shouted one of the crew from way up in the crow's nest.
"Ah, we're close to the treasure. Time to be rid of you,"
Long John Silver said. As the rest of the crew watched, the pirate forced Jim and Mr. Johansen into a little rowboat and cast it adrift in the water. As they were bobbing up and down in the little wooden skiff, Mr. Johansen suddenly asked,
"Jim, how well do you remember that map?"
"Like the back of my hand,"
replied Jim.
"Why?"
"I have an idea," Mr. Johansson said, while he took off his large, puffy white shirt.
"Take hold of the other end of this," he explained to Jim, "and we'll use it like a sail. Our boat is much smaller and weighs less, so maybe, just maybe, we'll get to the island before them."
Sure enough, their little boat flew across the waves, and they landed on the beach with time to spare.
"Let's get to work," Mr. Johansson said. "Do you remember where that treasure is buried?"
Yes, answered Jim. If I recall, it was through the jungle and then 50 paces west at a group of 3 trees.
They ran through the wooded area until they found the exact trees that were shown on the map. Quickly, they started digging with their bare hands.
And there it was, a big iron treasure chest.
They managed to cover the surrounding area with dirt and leaves so that it would appear as though they had never dug the treasure out in the first place. And then they took the treasure and waited with it in a concealed part of the island for Long John Silver to arrive. They watched from a distance as the captain and his crew hurried off the ship, practically tripping over their own feet as they rushed down the beach and into the jungle in search of the treasure. So great was Long John Silver's desire to find it that he had every last man join the hunt, leaving his ship unguarded. With the treasure chest in hand, Jim and Mr. Johansson boarded the pirate's ship and took off for home, leaving Long John Silver and his crew marooned on the deserted island. When they returned to the pawn shop, they sent word to Mrs. Flynn to come at once. Much to her surprise, they told her all about how her husband was Captain Flint the pirate, and showed her the treasure. They decided to split the treasure 3 ways, and Jim was able to live out the rest of his life, rich in both treasure and colorful memories. The end.